Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, today I'm going to be talking about Capcom games on the Mega Drive. Now, I did one a bit back about Capcom on the Super Nintendo, and they also did quite a few decent ones on the Mega Drive as well. A lot of them were arcade conversions, but I find that some of them were absolutely, in fact, every one I've actually played this by Capcom. Absolutely brilliant. Really good games indeed. Great sound, great graphics. Arcade conversions, some of them were, some of them weren't, and a lot of them were done by Capcom, some weren't done by Capcom themselves, done in-house. But anyway, so let's have a look, and I'm not going to go over all of the games today because I'd be here for a long time, so I'm just going to go over some of my favourites for Capcom on the Mega Drive. Okay, the first one I've chosen is Mercs. Now, originally released in the arcade in 1990, it was a spiritual sequel to Commando from 1985. Now, 3 players play simultaneously in the arcade. Unfortunately, when they converted it to the Mega Drive, it was only 1 player. Now, they've put 2 versions in there. They put the arcade version in there and also a bit of an RPG kind of action shoot 'em up in there as well. It is like your top-down run-and-gun game. Absolutely quality game as well. I think they converted it really well. The music and the sprites and colour and graphics all still add up there. Not close, but very good indeed. And I think it's a brilliant game. Okay, I just wish it had been 2-player. But no, Mercs for the Mega Drive by Capcom. Absolutely fantastic. Go out and give it a try. Okay, next up we have got Mega Twins, or Chiki Boys is released as in the UK. No, not the Cheeky Girls. Chiki Boys. Now, this one is a side-scrolling action platformer released by Capcom in 1990. And boy, what a great game. Now, in the arcade, it was 2-player simultaneous. Now, when they converted it to the Mega Drive, it was only 1 player, but you still get a choice of which character you want to play, just you can't play together, unfortunately. Now, really cutesy graphics. I think this one, absolutely brilliant. It really captures the actual arcade game, playing it on the Mega Drive. Great graphics, great sound, especially at that first level. I do love playing it. Big sort of cartoony dragons later on to fight as well. This one is an absolute classic, a definitely must for your collection. Go and give it a try. Okay, so the next game I've chosen is Strider. Now, released in Japan as Strider Higher IU. It's a hack and slash platform game, released in the arcades in 1989 and then converted to the Mega Drive later on. Now, this is your kind of Russian kind of guy with a huge sword going around slashing everything, defying gravity. Some huge bosses in this and some amazing gameplay as well. Still very playable today. I find this one to be one of my favourites. This was one of the first games I ever got for the Mega Drive, paying back about £45 back then. Yeah, that was quite a lot for a game. I do find this one though to be really good. Capcom did develop some of this one in cooperation with another company, but I do get that this one is really, really close to the arcade and one of my favourites. So if you've never played it, which I think everybody has, go and give it a try. Next up, we have got Forgotton Worlds, also known as Lost Worlds in Japan, side-scrolling shooter video game by Capcom, released in the arcades 1988 and brought to the Megadrive shortly afterwards. This is a spiritual sequel to Sidearms. Yes, Sidearms, one of those quality games. Same again, this is two-player, and you've got yourself little sort of satellites that you can move around or hover around you, with loads of power-ups to choose from. Things like heat-seeking missiles. You've got better armor as well. You can upgrade your health. Lots of big baddies like dragons, even kind of Egyptian pharaoh, or I don't know what you want to call it, as one of your baddies. But I do find this one game is really good indeed. Like I say, two-player, simultaneous, and it was one of the earliest games they released on the Mega Drive. One of my favourites as well. Yeah, I do have a lot of favourites. But if you've never ever played this one, highly recommend it. It has got a lot of challenge in there. You might be able to finish it on your first go, but it's one of the games you will come back and play again and again. Next up, I've gone with Ghouls and Ghosts, one of my favourites. This was an absolute classic one, known as Dai Makemura in Japan, a side-scrolling platform game developed by Capcom, released in the arcades in 1988. Then eventually it came to the Mega Drive pretty close after it was released in the arcades. One of the first, again, this came out around about the same time as Strider as well, and this was about £45. This didn't appeal to me as much because I think it was so hard, but they did a great conversion, very close to the arcade. You know, it's Arthur going around the graveyards, and you've got your knight's metal shield, and you've got your armour, and one hit and it takes your armour off you. Now loads of power-ups, like your lancers and your daggers and your discs. Get all the way to the end, defeat the boss, and then you have to go all the way back again. Usual game for, you know, your usual Ghouls and Ghosts. Very hard, very challenging indeed. Highly recommend this one. If you've not given it a try, which I think everybody has, you know, go and give it a try now. Definitely one you should have for your collection. Okay, next up we have got Street Fighter 2. Yes, they eventually converted it to the Mega Drive, and I personally think this is a great port indeed. I mentioned this earlier on in one of my other games, one of my other videos, should we say. It's all there, all your characters there. Chun-Li, Ryu, Ken, Guile, Blanky. You don't need me boring you with the details, all there. Now, what they did, this is the Champion Edition one. They skipped the original World Warrior one, went straight to the Champion Edition, and added the Turbo Edition in there as well. So you have the Champion Edition and the Turbo Edition, you get to choose which version you want to play. All the characters are in there, all the music's in there. Yeah, we know some of the sound effects aren't that good. I do get it, but I still find this one is still a quality game. You do need the 6-button pad to play it, but boy, this is great. If you haven't got a Super Nintendo or you haven't got any other form of playing Street Fighter 2, but you've just got a Mega Drive, recommend giving this one a try. Still quite cheap as well. Okay, last up we have Super Street Fighter 2 for the Mega Drive. This is a 24 meg cartridge. This was released into the arcades and then brought to the Mega Drive. Could they do this? I don't think they could, but they managed to fit it all on one cartridge. Same again like before with Street Fighter 2. You've got all your characters in there, plus the 4 extra ones. There is a few cutbacks, like some of the samples aren't there, or some of the animation aren't there, but nothing too major. It doesn't take away any of the gameplay. Loads to choose from, loads of characters to play, and plenty of special weapons or special moves to get out there to try and practice on. Now, once again, it's a 6-button joypad to play. If you've not played it, give this one a try. This is also one of my favourites, hence why I've got them on the list. All these games on the list are my favourite, but I do absolutely love Super Street Fighter 2 as well. Capcom's one of my favourite kind of game developers, and all these games on the list were absolutely brilliant. So Super Street Fighter 2, if you've not tried it, highly recommend it. Still pretty cheap as well. If you've not played it, go and give it a try. Okay, so there you have it. What's your thoughts on them? I find that they were really good. I found a lot of them were fantastic. Ghouls and Ghosts, Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2, even, Forgotton Worlds and Chiki Boys or Mega Twins. Absolutely great games indeed. Okay, some of them had a cut down, they weren't 2-player. Some of them were. There were a few, get cut down parts because they couldn't fit it all on the Mega Drive or on the cartridges. I get that, but they still came across as great games and still great to play today. If you're thinking of doing a retro collection or starting one up, highly recommend starting with the Capcom games. Some of them on there are absolutely brilliant. So anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts. Leave a like, leave a comment, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.